Okay, why don't we start off by you just telling us who you are, what's your name?
I'm Annette Wilcox Albert,
Okay.
67 years old, mother of Christy, Greg, Sarah, and AJ.
You're
Wife.
68 years old.
Well, I'm
When-
almost 68.
When were you
are
born?
68.
Six, huh? 1952.
1952. What month, what day?
January 4th,
January 4th,
1952.
1952.
Which makes you 68.
68 years old.
I am
What hospital were you born at?
Provo.
You were born in Provo?
Yeah. University Hospital.
And then
See?
where did you live when you were first born?
In, Margene said we lived in the Dregs subdivision in Utah.
So up in Utah.
Yeah.
And
Be-
how long did you live there after you were born?
We moved to California when I was 4.
4. Okay.
But where we used to live was behind the Sierra Theater there in Provo.
Yeah.
We lived behind there. There was a neighborhood.
Do you remember your measurements, like how much you weighed or anything like that?
Well, yeah, I barely weighed 5 pounds
5 pounds.
Mhm.
Wow.
because my twin weighed 6.
Okay. Tell me about her.
I don't know much about her.
Yeah.
She came out first, and she was the one that had all the hair and the.
Really?
Yeah, my mom said I was like a pick crow, this little teeny scrawny baby, and then Jeanette was, she was a pound bigger.
So it was Annette and Jeanette.
Yeah,
She was delivered first.
yeah, she had the cord string wrapped around
Is
her
that what
neck.
it was?
Mhm.
So was she stillborn? Was she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you were somewhere like around 5 pounds
yeah.
and didn't have much hair.
Nope. I had no hair, no
No hair.
eyelashes, no eyebrows.
What else have your parents told you about your birth?
That I look like a pick crow.
That you looked like a picked crow?
My mom always told me that. Gee, thanks, Mom. I was just really little, I know, but then I've seen pictures of me when I was about maybe 7 months.
Really?
I got fat really quick.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. What are some of like your earliest memories?
Oh boy. I don't remember a lot when I was little. Margene's been really helpful with that. I do remember we lived in Whittier, in a little cute house, and this is kind of a gross story, but we had a kitty cat, and the dog next door got a hold of it and tore it up.
Yeah.
But anyway, our neighbor threw it back over into our yard. We were all freaking out.
You remember that?
Yeah, I do. It was horrible. But then we also had a lady that was our neighbor, and she would always give us jars of candy and fun stuff like that. I remember that. It was a cool house.
Do you remember like where you went for preschool or kindergarten?
Didn't go.
Didn't go?
Kindergarten, I went to Pacific Drive School.
Really?
That's the one by my mom's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you were in kindergarten, you lived in Fullerton, that
Yeah.
house at
Mhm.
101. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. I lived in Whittier before we moved to Fullerton. That was before I was
So
4.
you went from Provo to Whittier to
Yeah.
Fullerton.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you went to Pacific Drive Elementary School,
Uh-huh.
1st through 6th grade.
Yep.
Do you remember any of your teachers?
Mrs. Bortz.
Miss Bortz?
She was my kindergarten teacher and my 6th grade teacher.
Really?
She was my aunt's neighbor, so I kind of knew her.
Oh, that's
But I
cool.
loved her. She was nice.
Yeah.
And there was a Mrs. Dial. She was nice. I think she was my 4th grade teacher. I don't remember my other ones.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that the other night.
Was Grandpa a teacher or principal at that time there?
A teacher.
So
Not there.
No.
At Whittier School.
Not at that one.
That's why we lived in Whittier. He worked in Whittier. But then I guess they bought the house in Fullerton and then we moved.
Do you remember like who was your good friends or your best friends when you were in elementary school?
Oh, wow. Vicki Jameson was one of them. She lived around the corner. My friend across the street, Gail Newton. And we didn't live close to any of the kids in our church, in our ward, so I didn't see them during the week. We didn't only have one car,
Yeah.
so we
what
walked.
kind of car was it?
A Studebaker.
Studebaker?
Yeah,
That's
it was
cool.
green. I
It's a
think.
big family for that size car, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, there was only the three of us
Oh,
at the time, but yeah. Then we got a Rambler station wagon. It was white, and then we got a Chrysler, big station wagon.
What did you like? What did you do with your friends?
We just played house, played outside, kicked the can, tetherball, or what do you call it? Foursquare.
Foursquare.
We paid that a lot.
Did you do any sports? Like, were you on any sort of
No.
soccer team or anything like that?
I don't think they had that back
Yeah.
then. If so, my mom, she couldn't drive, so she didn't have a car, so we had to go to school and come home. And then we just, hung out at the house or whatever.
Any other memories from Pacific View Elementary?
Well, I remember when I got hit by a car. I was in kindergarten.
We'll get to that. I
Yeah.
wanted to ask you about that.
Let's see. One of my favorite things at that school was being in chorus. We sang
Oh,
and
yeah?
we would have little programs. I loved that.
That's cool.
Probably because I didn't have to be up there by myself.
Yeah, you sang with other people.
But yeah.
What about junior high school? Where did you go?
Nicholas, junior high.
Nicholas? Is that still there?
Yeah, I think so.
Hmm.
Yeah. We walked. It wasn't that far from our house.
Do you remember any of your teachers from junior high?
No.
No?
There were so many of them. There was one, I can't remember her name, but I really liked her. She would ski, and I don't remember her name.
Did you have a class that you remember you liked, or a subject you liked studying?
No.
What kind of student were you?
A right brain student. I was not into school.
No?
I was into socializing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who did you hang out with? Like, who were your friends in junior high? Was it the same group, or was there anybody?
Let's see. Well, Lynn Elliott, she lived across the street, but she was my friend from church and school. She wasn't a very nice friend. But anyway, I had quite a few of them that I liked. Pamela and can't think of the other one. See?
That's okay.
I'll have to think about that.
That's okay. Do you remember who your first crush was?
Oh, wow. Let's see. Yeah, Richard Gibby.
Richard Gibby.
Yeah, that was in kindergarten.
Oh.
He went to our church, but it didn't last long.
Most kindergarten relationships do.
No, I mean, I didn't like him that much after a while.
Yeah. Did you ever have to get sent to the principal's office?
No,
No.
and my dad would have flipped.
Yeah, is that why?
No, I just didn't need to. I was too busy just being an airhead, I think.
What about, like, musical instruments? Did you play any musical
Piano.
instruments? You played the piano? Did
Yeah,
you
we
take
took lessons. Mhm.
Yeah.
It was all right. I could play. We would walk over to our teacher's house, and then she was a lady from our church, and we did good. But I didn't practice like I should have.
How long
But
did
I
you take
loved it.
lessons for?
Long time.
Yeah?
Well, at least I feel like 5 years,
Really?
maybe more. Yeah.
What other memories do you have from junior high?
Wow. Not very many.
It's okay,
I
I'm not
obviously
either.
wasn't the social butterfly, was I?
Okay, what high school did you go to?
Sunny Hills?
Sunny Hills High, right?
Yep.
And then do you have any teachers you remember or classes that you loved or
Gosh.
that stand out?
No, I liked running around the school.
Yeah.
I remember once my teacher saw me and I was barefoot running around the courtyard, and he just said, "Annette, don't you have any shoes?" No.
What was like a subject you liked?
Oh, I loved
Studying.
history.
History?
Yeah. I think that started way back then, and I enjoyed it a lot.
What were some of your hobbies that you had growing up or in high school or even before that?
Oh boy, let's see. Hobbies. I don't remember. I know my mom sewed all the time. She sewed us clothes, but I don't know if we helped her. And
So a lot of the outfits you'd wear to school or whatever were
everything. My mom
were
made
homemade?
all of our clothes. All our pictures when we were little. She was amazing.
How long did Grandma work for the Olin Mills?
That was it.
Was that-
She started that when I was in high school, so it was older. She yeah, I think it was when we were older.
But all of like your class pictures growing up, you would have had like homemade clothes.
Oh yeah,
Huh.
and my mom's dresses, everything was. She made them all. They were beautiful.
For all of you guys.
Yeah, and my
Wow.
mom.
What would you how would you describe yourself at that time? Like what were you like?
Kind of scary.
I don't believe it.
Yeah. I don't think I was a very nice sister. I really wasn't. And I used to pounce on my sister, poor Kathy. But I think I had that after I got hit by the car. I really think I went through a, what do you call that, stress thing? Anyway,
Post-traumatic stress
yeah,
disorder.
Margene said I wasn't very nice after I got hit by a car.
Huh.
And unless it was just hitting my brain, did something to me. But anyway, Kathy and I would play all the time at the house. We played house, and Margene played with us, and the girls across the street. We would be like the moms, and that kind of thing. That's what we did.
Did you make pies out of the sawdust from Grandpa's workshop?
Yeah.
That's what we used to do.
Yeah, I know, that's true.
What did you want to be when you grew up? Like when you
A
were
mom.
a kid?
I
You
just wanted to be a mom.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Did you ever have a job?
Uh,
Like a high school job?
Yeah, I cleaned Bill's mom's house and
Yeah.
some other people's homes with Debbie. Yeah,
How long did you do that? Just
a couple years, few
Yeah.
years, yeah. That was good money back then.
was it?
$15 a house.
Yeah. That's what you got paid?
Yeah, well, Debbie worked with me at Mary Jo's, and so that would
Debbie
probably be 30.
Stotzenberg?
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Who was your first date?
My first date was Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't the guy from kindergarten?
No. I didn't like him in high school. He was a butt.
Yeah. What did you guys do?
What did we do on our first date? I can't even remember. Huh?
Didn't we go on a double date with Chris and Debbie?
Oh, Chris and Debbie, maybe. Yeah, they were boyfriend and girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I know one thing. Your dad took me to see, I don't know if it was our first date, but he took me to see Camelot, the movie. We went into L.A.,
wow.
and the whole theater was set up for Camelot. It was
That's cool.
so beautiful.
Hmm.
We all dressed up, but I cried all the way home because it was so sad.
Yeah, the movie was.
Yeah, I didn't know it was going to be.
When did you start driving?
Not till I was 18.
18.
Yeah.
What did you drive?
We had a Comet.
A Comet?
Green
is that,
car,
is that what
yeah.
I heard you call the Vomit?
Yeah. I was married
That was
by the time
that was
I.
the Mercury Vomit.
The Vomit?
Yeah.
The 1963 blue Mercury Vomit.
Blue Vomit.
Turquoise.
Did
Yeah, it was
you-
awesome.
Did you ever get in an accident or did you ever get a ticket or anything?
I don't remember if I did.
What about
We
like
ran over the Wilson's mailbox.
Oh, I
You
did.
took
Yeah,
out a mailbox?
yeah, it was my friends,
Oh, yeah?
Kathy Wilson.
It was our best friends, her, around a corner from my house,
Come stand here.
around a corner from our house, she was driving, I think you were driving the Datsun,
I was.
and she just made that turn and went up the driveway and took out their mailbox.
Really?
Yeah, and I had to rebuild
You
it.
had to rebuild.
I rebuilt
So
their
thankful
mailbox.
nobody
I made
was
them
standing in
I
there.
made a mailbox, got them a new mailbox and made a stand out of wood, and it was nice.
Yeah,
They got
it was.
an upgrade.
They got an upgraded mailbox, yeah.
I was always thankful nobody was sitting right there, you know?
What about, like, did you ever go to, like, girls' camp or young
Yeah.
women's or youth
That was fun.
conferences?
I
What
loved
were
that.
some of the things you guys did?
Just girls' camp. Gosh. We made bead things, you know, and then we worked with leather. We drank a lot of soda. Oh my gosh.
Is that because you didn't drink soda at home?
No,
No?
couldn't afford it, but we squirt or something.
So what was it? So a squirt was
Yeah.
like a...
Big deal. Well, for me it was.
Yeah.
But I had squirt all day, every
It
day.
was like a soda pop bottle?
Yeah, it was in a machine. We'd go and I don't know where I got the money. Mom probably gave it to me to buy something decent. I bought.
Did you guys go camping?
Yeah, we did. My dad he loved to camp. We used to go we went to Death Valley once, and let's see, we went up to I think Sequoia or one of those places.
Mm-hmm.
We loved it. Idaho, we camped in different places like that.
What was, like, a favorite song you remember growing up? Like, you always loved this song,
Mac the Knife.
Mac the Knife?
Yeah, I used to dance in the kitchen
Really?
with the radio on. Yeah.
What did you dress like?
We wore dresses, and we wore dresses till high school, and then we could wear pants. So.
Were you, like, fashion conscious? So, like, did you worry about what you wore and you
Oh,
always
of
wanted
course.
to wear...
But my mom always had us looking so nice. But the weird thing is, Margie and I have talked about this. You know, after you have homemade dresses for so long, you want a store-bought dress. So when we finally could afford it, they weren't that nice. I mean,
Oh,
they
yeah.
were barely. My mom's were so beautiful, but she made us a lot of nice dresses. So we wore dresses, and my mom would make us shorts to play in at home. So we had little short outfits.
What was life like then, like when you were in high school? You know, like what was going on in the world? What do you
Wow, that
remember?
was in the 60s. Same stuff that's going on now.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It is, right?
Very similar.
Do you remember like something standing out? Like when you were a kid, when this
Yeah.
happened, you vividly remember like
My
I
dad.
remember 9/11 or whatever.
Oh, yeah. We were sitting at our kitchen table, and my dad, let's see, I don't know how old I was, but anyway, he was talking to all of us kids, and there was
It's okay.
a bomb threat.
A bomb threat?
Yeah, was that right? I think, was Kennedy the president? I
It was
can't
the
remember.
Cuban Missile Crisis, probably.
Yeah, and they,
In 1963,
Yeah.
probably that's probably what it was.
so I was 10 or 11.
Yeah. That's
I remember being so scared. But
everybody was scared then.
yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't know. Dad talked about getting building a
Bomb
shelter.
shelter? Wow.
Yeah, and then
That would be scary.
it was. We were all
Hey
wimps.
kids, we're gonna build a bomb shelter.
Yeah, and then I remember him telling us that if something happened, no matter what, oh, I know I was gonna cry. He would get home to us. He would walk if he had to. He worked in Whittier,
Mm-hmm.
but we were pretty scared. That was Harry.
It sounds like it.
Yeah. There was a lot of unrest in the 60s.
Mhm.
Then they had the segregation things, and It was all pretty violent here.
What was Fullerton like back then?
It was a nice town. Everything was new, all the
Was
homes.
it? So that whole neighborhood was
Brand new. There was still a lot of orchards, orchards, and we used to go play in them. And there was a place,
Where would the old orchards have been? Like,
um, let's see. You know, if you're looking straight out from my mom's house, it would be like 3 or 4 blocks over that
really?
way.
Wow.
Yeah. And there was this one field that hadn't had any houses put in yet, but there was a big hole in it, and someone had built like a house down in it, kind of like a shelter.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad told us we weren't allowed to go there because I think it was like someone they didn't know, kind of crazy. But
Yeah.
anyway, so Kathy and I didn't mind. And we're sitting on the curb getting ready to go, and he drives my dad's car by. So my dad drives by and sees us.
He
and
saw you?
Oh, yeah. So we both got paddled.
Did you get the belt? Or
No,
the paddle?
just his hand was
Oh.
plenty, believe me. But he spanked us and put us to bed for a while, and we, cried. But anyway, we deserved it. Yeah, but there was a lot of places to roam.
Yeah.
We would go to there was an Alpha Beta, which was about maybe 5 blocks away, and a Thrifties.
Thrifties, yeah.
And we used to get ice cream.
Yeah, I remember doing that.
Yeah, and Cheez-Its were my favorites.
Really?
So, yeah.
The crackers?
No, Cheez-Its,
Like Cheetos?
yeah, Cheetos.
Cheetos, okay.
Cheetos. That was my favorite summer treat.
What was like something you loved? Like when you didn't have anything to do, you didn't have homework, or you didn't have something to do. What did you usually do?
We probably watched TV. There wasn't a lot on, but I remember coming home from school and watching Felix the Cat. That was like my favorite.
Really?
Yeah. And let's see. What else? Do you remember what?
Fury, did you watch Fury?
Fury?
Yeah, the horse. Black.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you remember like how many channels there were when you?
Not very many.
Did you watch Howdy Doody?
Yeah, Howdy
Howdy
Doody.
Doody.
And we loved that. And Romper Room. That's right. She had the magic mirror.
Yeah.
Captain Kangaroo?
Yeah. How many channels were there? About 5 or 6? And
There
they
was-
went off.
Well, there's probably about, because not all of them worked. It went up to 13.
But you didn't really have 13
3
channels.
didn't work,
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 didn't work, 6 didn't work, so
So it's like 2, 4.
there was no 12
Mm.
Yeah.
that worked. So yeah, you could get channel 2, then channel 4, then channel 5, then channel 7,
Yeah.
8, 9, then channel 11, 12, and 13. So
Hmm.
I don't know how many that is at work, but the others were just static.
Yeah.
And they all, then at like 9 o'clock at night or maybe sooner, they would go off the air, and
They'd
that
be
was
off
it.
the air, that was
That
it.
had that round circle and
Yeah.
the ending in it or something.
And they
Did
would
you guys
sign
have a-
off with a Star Spangled Banner,
Every night.
Yeah.
like today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you have a color TV?
Not for a long time.
So it was a black and white TV.
Yep.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
big was it? Was it just in that
It
one
was-
room off the kitchen?
No.
Has that always been the TV room?
No, that was a
Oh.
bedroom.
Oh.
It was in the living room. Kind of where my mom had that, when you walk out the back door, right there.
Yeah.
We always sat right there. And,
Hmm.
But it had legs. It wasn't too small.
Yeah.
It was
But it was
nice.
black and white.
Yeah.
Most of
Oh, yeah.
growing up. Do you remember an important spiritual experience from when you were little?
Let's see. When I was little,
Or just growing up? Like,
Yeah.
you remember something sticking in your mind that something happened to you, or you heard something, or saw something, or...
I have a lot of things, but most of them had to do with you guys when you were born.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. I can't remember.
Okay. Tell me about some of like your family vacations I remember hearing about like an epic road trip where you guys drove across the country.
We did.
What
We
were some
were-
of like the family vacations you guys took?
That was a crazy one, but we had the big Chrysler station wagon. I think I was 12, and Ronnie was like 2. So we were all in that van,
Wow.
but we went all the way up to New York, but every place we stopped, my dad knew people all over the United States. They let us stay in their home.
Really?
They stayed, we were there.
Your whole family like just
8 of
crashed.
us.
Yeah.
They were all so nice to us, and so that was one big one. We went to Idaho a lot.
Did you have stuff like packed on top of the car?
Yeah, my dad did a whole tent and all that stuff in case we had to tent it. We only did it once, so he had that.
Like off the side of the road, or did you?
No, we tented like in Buffalo, New York. There was a campground,
Oh yeah.
and we stopped there.
So no one had cell phones. What did you guys do for a? That's like a long trip. What did you do all day while you were driving?
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
Fight.
Probably. Ronnie threw his shoes out the window. Mom flipped because then he was going to have to go barefoot. And we played games with the license plates on cars.
Yeah.
We would do that, and just random games that we'd make up. My mom and dad sang a lot and harmonized, and we'd listen to them and sing with them, and that was nice. That was one of my favorites.
So you also mentioned you guys went to Idaho a lot.
Yeah, my
That's where Grandpa was from, right?
yeah, and he had 2 weeks off at Christmas, so we would go up there quite a few times. We went up there at Christmas time, which was so nice. Our cousins, they all lived around my grandma. It was so nice.
Everybody lived right there.
Yeah, they lived within blocks of each other, so we could. My grandma lived right next to a school, and my cousin Arlene was just a year older than me. And I used to go to school with her. I don't know why I wanted to, but it was fun. And we'd walk to the town, and there was a Wilco, and they would have like a fountain where you get shakes and stuff. That was fun. And I had my first Arctic Circle hamburger. Oh my gosh.
Was it good?
Yes, it was 25
You still remember
cents.
it?
I loved it. I had one every day if I could get the money.
Yeah.
I loved it.
So did you have a lot of cousins your age? Like you mentioned Arlene.
Arlene and Colleen were my age. Everybody else was like Marjean's age. But everybody had someone to play with. It was really nice. Yeah. It was great.
What are some other family trips that you remember?
We went to Mississippi a couple of times. Like for spring break, my dad would take time off, and then
Drove all the way to Mississippi.
yeah, couldn't fly. And sometimes we would stay. Then my dad would take us to Mississippi, and he would go home, and we'd stay the whole summer, which was
Wow.
wonderful.
Did you like Mississippi?
I loved it. It was
Did
great.
you have cousins there your age?
No, not really. But it was just fun being there.
So did you stay at like
Grandma's
Grandma
house.
Katie's house? What did you guys do?
I don't know, helped her milk her cows and all that. Dad went with us once. When Christy was 1, we went down there and spent the whole summer. And it was fun, huh? I mean, it was so nice. But we would always, when we would drive up my grandma's her driveway, we would call for her. We couldn't find her anywhere. Then when you could see her in the distance, I mean, I'm not joking, far, she would have on a dress and an apron and a bonnet and a pail of milk. She'd been out milking cows, and she had boots on, rubber boots. That was my grandma. She was amazing. Yeah, loved it.
Tell me about the story when you got ran over by a car or hit by a car.
Yeah.
What was
Well,
that?
I just know we were going to leave the next day for Mississippi and be gone all summer.
Really?
Yeah, and my mom had worked really hard making cute little outfits for us. And So we were at church we had church at the Masonic Temple on Harbor.
Really?
Yeah. And
How old were you?
5 or 6. And my mom told Margene and this other older girl to take us to the car. They were coming. They were just saying goodbye to everybody. And I decided, we got across the street, but I decided to go back. And I wanted my mom, or I just wanted to be probably stubborn. But anyway, before they could grab me, I ran across. It was Chapman, I think.
Oh, so it was like a street.
Yeah, big street.
Yeah, it was Chapman and Harbor.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
it would just be, it was just west of Harbor. Right
Yeah.
by the old Fox
Right there.
Plant.
I think I've always just thought it was like a car in the parking lot.
No.
It was right across the street, basically from Fox Fullerton,
Yeah.
and that's where
The
the
theater.
Masonic,
Yeah.
temple was.
Yeah, I know where that is.
And it was just right there on Chapman. Was it Chapman? And Harbor. And so I ran, but right before I got to the curb, a man was coming out of the he had been parked, and he didn't see me, and he ran over. Well, he didn't run over me, but I always thought he did, but he didn't. He hit my head with this. You know, the cars in those days had those big spokes that came out of the wheels, and it hit me, and it threw me like 50 feet, and then he was so upset, he got out of the car, and it was still running, and it came and rolled on my arm. And
So you got hit, and you flew.
yeah,
He got out of his car, but the car kept moving.
yeah, and it ran over my one arm, and it
Like
didn't
the
break.
tire ran over your arm.
Yeah, I had a bad scar for a really long time, and
I remember you showing me scars on your head when I was little. Like
I still have that
that's
one.
from where like the wheel hit you.
No, the spoke.
The spoke of
Yeah.
the okay.
And so,
Wow.
but then I was knocked out, and then when I woke up, I was in the ambulance with my mom and dad, and it was Father's Day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you get stitches? I mean, what did you have to
Yeah,
stay
they had
in the
to
hospital?
do
Did you-
my. They did my head, did some stitches. They didn't know. That's why I'm crazy. They didn't know it was gonna be wrong, but they did stitch my head up, and I had a cast on my arm, but it wasn't because it was broken. It just the skin was
Yeah.
off or something. Anyway, so I had to stay in the hospital for a week, and my mom and dad couldn't stay at night, and
So you stayed in the hospital a whole week.
yeah,
So I'm imagining when your mom and dad came outside, like they see you on the ground,
Yeah, it was-
blood everywhere.
well, someone told them, your daughter, she's been hit, and they ran
Oh,
out.
man.
Yeah, but when I would look, when I woke up and I was in the ambulance, I looked down and I could just, I don't know, cry. I had really blonde hair. It was all red with blood, and my mom and dad were crying, and I didn't know what was wrong.
They were in the ambulance with you.
Yeah. And then when I got to the hospital, I woke up again, and I was in, like, where they were cleaning me up. And I just remember crying, I want to go home. And I was in the hospital when I woke up, so I was mad. But they stayed, but, they didn't let parents stay back then.
So you were in the hospital all alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
People would come visit for
You
a
were
while,
5
but they
or
couldn't
6
stay.
years old.
Yeah. They didn't let parents stay. And the girl next to me had gotten hit by a car, run over. She had like a tire mark on her face. So I was kind of scared. But we all became friends, Anyway, that was pretty hairy. So then I went home and slept in my mom and dad's room. They made a little bed for me, and my grandma and them came to us instead of us going there, which was kind of a bummer.
So
but-
instead of going to Mississippi, they came out here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then so you were in the hospital a week, but afterwards did you heal? I mean, were you?
I just laid around for a long time, and yeah, then I just healed at home.
Wow.
I know.
That's a miracle.
It is. Yeah, it is.